What instantly kills the vibe at a party? Someone putting the big light on. Aggressive drunks. I think the S is needed. A single, aggressive drunk can be headed off. The party can pinball them around the place and make them feel special, and, if not, push them into a ditch. Multiple aggressive drunks? GTFO. Now. You underestimate the power of an aggressive drunk with a sprinkle of insanity. Went to a small cozy wedding party and one of the guests, sister of the groom, brought her boyfriend of 5 months. Funny guy, easy to talk to, all cool until suddenly shit hit the fan entirely. The guy became incoherent, threatened to rape the married couple's toddler if they don't stop pissing him off, then got told off as everyone was rightfully pissed, ran out of the garden hut away from the property, threw himself to the floor and started simulating some kind of seizure, all while his girlfriend suffered a major panic attack, through all of it out of guilt and shame. Party ended with an ambulance and a police car. Jesus dude. Hopefully that was the last time he was around that group. I don't know how anyone could recover their reputation after threatening a toddler like that. Yeah, the girlfriend broke up with him pretty soon after and he was prohibited from entering their house, forcing him to spend the night at the police station. Sounds like he got off lightly. The crying girl that needs everyone to console her. Get out of the bathroom, there's a line forming. I remember I was at a party once and this girl did that, but she thought she was too drunk, she wasn't, and was going to die and got people to call an ambulance for her. We sat at a table drinking beers and rolling joints, Canada, and these paramedics and cops showed up and it was basically just an eye-roll fest for everyone involved. Haha, there was a girl in my town known to some as 911 Nikki for a similar reason. Someone took a shit in the sink at a house party of mine once. That was a buzz killer for sure. Party pooper. When someone gets too drunk and starts arguing. I was at a staff party with an open bar, and it reached the time when the first clusters of guests were leaving. When they went to get their coats from the closet, they discovered a young new team member who we thought had left hours ago. He had stripped off all his clothes, made a nest of jackets, soiled everything, and passed out. Killed the vibe for sure. Bless his heart. Did he ever show up for work again? Op replied somewhere else, he peed and had diarrhea, unfortunately. He did show up to work on Monday, but he only lasted a week or two before he left the organization. Yikes. Maybe watch the 18-year-olds when you have an open bar. How the duck are you not instantly fired that second after pissing and shitting on an entire room of strangers' coats? What the fuck? Bro, I would fire myself, no joke. Who wants to be P-boy the rest of your work life? Yo, house broke, you working tomorrow? That one sad drunk who is loud as hell. The trick is to be so drunk yourself that you don't care. When someone turns off the music and starts playing an acoustic guitar. Hey now, I've been playing guitar for decades and all I can say is, you're absolutely right. I never play at a party unless I am specifically asked to and all present are in on it. It's just goofy posturing otherwise. Also, pro tip, if you do end up being the guy playing at a party, you better make damn sure you pick the right song to play. For reference, the right song is I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. This actually awakened a long-lost memory in my mind. Many years ago I was at a small party consisting of mostly co-workers. Music was low and there was a ton of friendly chatter. Very nice vibe. Then one of the guests decided he was going to bring in his portable amp and electric guitar to lay down some sweet riffs. Many people tried to politely dissuade him, but there was no stopping him. After about 5 minutes of speed metal solo, the place quickly started to clear out. That single event was the talk of the office on the next work day. As I think of it right now, I can't stop laughing. We used to have a few parties a year, and one time close friends of my ex-GF said they'd be late and showed up about 2 hours into it. They had befriended some people in a bar, who brought all their DJ stuff. I never asked for a DJ. We go along with it, and the problem was, most of my crowd was into classic rock, and these guys were in their early 20s bringing a completely different sound. What happened was, most of the party moved outside, with the DJ and his friends in the living room. Nobody really said anything about it, but I was outside and someone went in and left the sliding glass door open. Another guy closed it, which slightly deadened the sound. Someone said, "Thank God." Then there was some laughter and we basically agreed the late arrivers had committed a party foul. An overdose. I witnessed this. Host and 2 friends went to a room to do a little booger sugar, but it must have been laced with fentanyl or something. They were found unresponsive, party over, paramedics, cops, etc. Narcan definitely saved them and they made a full recovery, but damn. What a horrible night. I'm not from the States, but why is fentanyl a thing to cut coke with? I mean, one is a stimulant, and the other one is a downer. In Europe, coke tends to be cut with amphetamine as it's much cheaper than coke, or some filler which is inactive. But why of all powders, they use fentanyl for cutting coke in the US? Fentanyl isn't usually something users are asking for or even want. It shows up in everything now, not just opiates. Even meth and coke. Spooky stuff. In college, when we wanted to wrap up the party at 2 or 3 a.m., play Dark Side of the Moon. Drops the energy, no one is being asked to leave, people are chill as they head out, no crazy disruptions for the neighbors. Not specifically the vibe killing that the rest of the posters are sharing, but similar. When I was ready to shut down my parties, I played Gordon Lightfoot. Everyone got the hint and left happy. I'm not ducking leaving until I figure out what happened to the Edmund Fitzgerald. The main hatchway gave and the lights went out of sight, may have split up, might have capsized, they may have broke deep and took water. Okay, but what remains? The faces and names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Using the party for MLM sales opportunities. I was invited to a dinner party and only found out when I got there that it was a pitch for Amway. When I arrived, I was told there would be a short presentation prior to dinner. I said, no, thank you, and left. Moved back to my small town. First person to contact me outside of the small friend group that knew was trying to get me to come by for an Amway meeting. Thanks for making my homecoming suck, Leslie. You're a horrible cheerleader. That's the worst. They swoop in and act like they're genuinely happy to see you, then hit you with the sales pitch. A friend of mine announced she had to fart to the entire kitchen while she was intoxicated. She proceeded to shit liquid diarrhea on herself. It hit the floor, it smelled terrible. Party ended before it really ever began. Guess she had some stomach bug or IBS or something. She ended up getting diapers for any gift-giving occasion after. No clue where she ended up, we lost touch a year or so later. Edit, I've had some experts weigh in to tell me nobody with IBS trusts farts, so I'm going to bend the knee to those soldiers battling their own colons and rule out IBS. I'll leave it in though for continuity. Rule number 467: never fart when drunk. Always assume it's shit. Shortage of drinks when everything is closed. Ah yes, time for the adventure, gathers the folks for the quest to the closest gas station to buy more alcohol, gets lost twice, changes destination several times, 3 people go missing, somebody passes out, drink entire booze before they make their way back home. The adventureth actual party. Always volunteer for the adventure. One of my favorite adventures happened during a party. I was at my friend's party, and the neighbor and my friend's sister wanted to go smoke some MJ and asked me to come with them. Naturally, I obliged and followed them into the woods. We weren't even halfway through the blunt before we saw a light at the edge of the trees. Apparently, the neighbor was grounded and not supposed to be out, and his dad saw us duck into the woods. We all split up and went separate directions. His dad almost caught up to me when I was taking a second to catch my breath. I rendezvoused with the neighbor, who then tried to convince me to let myself get caught, Lamau. I pretty much told him to kiss it, and we split. Somehow, his dad was still hot on my trail. I had to spend the next 20 minutes evading him until I was sure he was off me. I let myself in through the back door of the host's house and snuck back to the bedroom where the rest of our main group was. The second I walked in, I was met with stares that quickly transformed into hysterical laughter. I looked like I had been through Nam, and frankly, I felt like I had been. 1010 would happily do it again.